Hey guys, so today let's talk about how to start a successful bookkeeping business. So this is for our podcast called Bookkeeping Business Secrets. So I wanted to kind of go through a couple things. So number one, we're going to talk about how to start a successful bookkeeping business. I'm going to talk about some of the rookie mistakes I see a lot of people making. I'm also going to talk about a business lesson that I learned that kind of further cements this point to kind of help you be able to grow. Because if I had had this stuff when I first got started with my bookkeeping business back in 2015, I would have reached my goals a lot faster without having to make quite as many mistakes. Also, if you want some help growing your business, like maybe you've been trying to grow your business, just not quite growing the way that you want, and you know if you had someone that was a little bit further ahead than where you are and could show you step by step what to do, if you think that would have some value to you, I invite you to go ahead and click the link inside the description, either above or below the video, to book a call with myself to see if I can help you inside of our mentorship program. Okay, so let's jump. Also, for the student spotlight of the week for our mentorship program, I wanted to shout out Paul. So Paul made it to about $7,000 per month in about 69 days of working inside of our program. So when Paul first got started, he was working a job, and I believe he was like either a senior accountant or like first manager, and he had some debts that he had to kind of pay off from just a lot of just years of debt, and he was thinking that his job wasn't really going to be able to pay it off because it was a pretty high interest rate on the debt that he had. So he had to start his business because he needed something that was a little bit more explosive to be able to go and really clear those debts as quickly as possible and just really start being able to work for himself. I'm really excited to kind of see his continued progress and really grateful that he gave us opportunity to go and help him grow his business. Now, his main marketing channel is LinkedIn and its referral partnerships. So he actually had a referral partner that referred him about $4,000 worth of monthly work. He also had some cleanups on top of the $7K, but I'm really only talking about the $7,000 per month he's at right now. Okay, cool. So let's jump into this thing. So in terms of how to start a successful bookkeeping business, there are a couple things that I see people like making mistakes about. Number one is bouncing too much from marketing plan to marketing plan. So the reason why it's a challenge is because every single marketing that you do can work. Some are going to be a lot harder than others, and some will take a lot longer to find success than others, right? But eventually, if you build up enough skill set within that marketing method, it will work for you, right? So like you sometimes might hear me say like, don't do Upwork. And it's not that Upwork doesn't work. It's just that for most people, the time frame with which they need Upwork to work, it's just going to take too long, or it's going to take too much money, right? Because on Upwork, you have to go buy those credits. So if you only have, we'll say like $100 that you're willing to spend on credit, it's probably not going to work. You probably have to spend like $1,000 for credits, right? And, the reason why is because like on Upwork, there's just so much competition. There's so many people that are competing for job quotes and job posts. Like I actually went on a Facebook group and asked someone, hey, I have this new contract. Can someone please help me fulfill this contract? I got hit with 40 people in the span of like 24. It was probably like less than a day. 40 people reached out to me, and I just got so overwhelmed. I had to actually take like a week before I went back and looked at it. Like, just being honest, there's just so many people. So on Upwork, every single time that a job post is made, there's about 150 to like 1,000 people that apply for that job. Now, I know it's not 1,000 like Americans, right? You're dealing with people from like different countries, but that still adds to kind of like the mental stress that the person is seeing and doing, right? It also makes the person who's seeing on the other side a little bit more arrogant because they think that everyone's a dime a dozen. If there's like a million people, why would I pay a high price if I could just go find someone's lower? Or if someone is a little bit higher, I can just like ask them to kind of lower the price because I have, the person that is buying has the control when there's a million suppliers, right? Supply and demand. It's like basics of economics, like 101 or 201. Cool. So that's why I don't like Upwork. It takes too much time, but I do know people that do, make some money on Upwork, right? Ideally for you, like what I would probably recommend is using social media, so like using platforms like LinkedIn or Facebook. The reason why is because you can actually build relationships with people that aren't currently in market. In market just means like they're not currently thinking that they are looking for someone. They could probably benefit from it, but they're not necessarily looking for someone, or they don't really understand they can go on these different job boards and post that job description. So by you learning how to communicate with them, to tell them like, what are the benefits of your service, oftentimes it opens up new opportunities so that like they're actually going to want to work with you. Like before, like, oh, I didn't even know I needed a bookkeeper. I thought that I just needed like a CPA for a year end, and that, like they just do a compilation at the end of the year. It's like, oh no, but if I just do it during the year, it's not quite as much money, and it's just a lot easier. I can actually use the information to grow my business, right? So that's the thought process behind social media. And then it's just really about learning how to identify who's the right person to go and like build a relationship with, right? Once you have that, then really growing is very, very simple, because you just keep replicating the process over and over and over again. And if you think about it, you really only need to have like excuse me, you really only need to have like 10 to 20 loops, right? When I say a loop, it's like one client to loop. So you do the social media, get one client, and you do it again, and you do it again. You'll really only need like 10 to 15 loops of these clients, right? Especially if you're pricing your services like at 500, 750, 1,000, right? It doesn't take that quite that much. And like when I say 10 to 15, that's to get to like 10K per month. That's like most people's starter goals, about like 10K per month, about 6 figures, right? Because like after taxes, you should clear anywhere between like between 95 to like 100K, right? So that's kind of why I think a lot of people choose that number. It's just a very safe number. Now, okay, it's all really about focus. Okay, so focus is an acronym. Follow one course of action until successful. So again, it's just everything's gonna work. You just have to get good at it. Most things are gonna work. Okay, let me take that back. Most things will work if you have enough time, enough patience, enough skill set. Ideally, you're gonna choose one that has a low time requirement, right? So both time to actually make it work each day, as well as time to go and get a result. Like I don't want something that's gonna take me 6 months. Like for most people, like building a YouTube channel, that's gonna take you like anywhere between like a month to like 6 months before you get your first client on like a YouTube channel, right? That's probably not a very good beginner model. I would not recommend anyone start with a YouTube channel. But once you have like a certain amount of time, a certain amount of traction, you don't really need the money, then you can do that, you know? Because you can afford to have like things like take a long time for it to work. Cool. Next thing. So I almost like to think of this like, I was talking to one of the students in our mentorship program last night named James, and he actually is like a pretty successful stock trader. So he actually wanted to join the program because he wanted to grow an accounting business, because he basically wants to go and like create like this brand of like financial stuff. So he wants to teach people like stock trading. He wants to teach people how to do like personal finance, and just kind of like almost like a financial coach kind of thing. So learning bookkeeping was really important for him. So we basically are teaching him bookkeeping from scratch. He already has a couple clients as well, and yeah, you know, but taking a step back. So he was saying that for stock trading, it's like whenever you have a plan, so basically you understand like what are you willing to risk, like what are you willing to gain, and then you have to be able to set up automations in place so that the trade automatically follows itself, and you don't look at that plan so that you don't change it until it's successful. So it's very similar to starting an accounting business, right? You need to know how much time you're willing to spend, right, or wait for results. What do you think is going to be the gain as a result of doing that strategy? Then you need to go and utilize automations to be able to actually go and execute on that strategy. And then once you have that in place, you just don't look at the strategy anymore. You just keep doing it. Like you don't think about strategy, right? At that point, you just have to do the work, right? And it's just like it makes so much sense, because if you're always thinking about the work and not doing the work, it's almost like a form of procrastination, right? And it's like you might as well, like I don't want to think about the work and not get a result from that work. I'd rather just be spending time like doing what I want to do, like spending time with family or just going on vacation. You know what I mean? So it's like, so you need to really limit the amount of thinking that you're doing and just increase the amount of doing that you're doing. Like I actually had a rule, 2017, 2018, I had a rule. It was like during the week I cannot think about any of the marketing that I'm doing. I have to just do the marketing. On the weekends when I can do like any kind of like planning or learning or etc. But during the week, boom, attack. And like that really supported me. Awesome. Yeah, and I mean that's the biggest thing. It's like this stuff is not rocket science. Okay, there's just gonna be stuff that is more effective on a short time frame than other things, right? There's like short-term marketing strategies, there's mid-term marketing strategies, there's long-term marketing strategies. In our program, we teach you how to do both the short-term and the long-term. That way it's like you're getting clients now, but then you're actually going and building sources of like leads that keeps shooting leads out to you over time. So you don't have to always be doing these short-term methods. That was one thing I used to say all the time. It was like, man, I'm doing this, like, when am I ever going to kind of like elevate past that? Like, am I always going to be kind of stuck doing this kind of marketing stuff? It was just very like, right? But then I didn't know this at the time, right? Because I hadn't created it yet. But it's like I kind of stumbled into like different things. I stumbled into like referral partnerships, influence partnerships, and like that's what we teach nowadays, right? So if you want some help and you want to see if our mentorship program can help you out, go ahead and click the link inside the description, either above or below the video, to book a call with myself to see if I can help you inside of our mentorship program. Okay? I will talk to you soon. I will see you on the call. I'd love to see if it's a good fit. Okay? Have a good rest of your day. Take it easy. Talk to you soon.